This is Coffee with the Summerland Kids. I'm Jerico Woggon. This is Aaron Riggs. This is our June 3rd, Monday edition of the 41st episode of Coffee with the Summerland Kids. We made it to 41. We're almost to the magic 42. We're almost there.
Almost to the meaning of life.
Yeah, exactly. It is currently 53 degrees in Summerland, California, and today's high will be 74. I guess there's a wind advisory down there on the coast, so maybe it'll blow out the June gloom, the fog. Maybe it'll blow the fog layer away.
It might. We're getting a little bit of overcast here in Orville. You can see my sky is gray.
Yeah.
Not the normal baking hot blue skies, 90 degrees by 10 o'clock.
Nice.
So that's nice.
That's cool. Are we live on Facebook?
Oh, no, let me go click that button. We'll go live on Facebook.
Nice.
Let me just...
That's always helpful.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit for it to propagate through the system.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got to thank Restream for this awesome platform that they provide.
I imagine once we get to a point where, I don't know, it allows us to do more, but it costs. There's a fee.
Oh, yeah.
When you want to go to more than two platforms. Right now we're going to Twitch and Facebook. I use Twitch as kind of my mainstay because it holds them for a week and there's an easy automated upload to YouTube. I just click to export.
Nice.
And it automatically goes there. I think we're live on the Facebook. I just hit the button.
Sweet.
And I think it's set to public now. So we are
Good
live
morning,
on
everybody
Facebook.
on Facebook. We're Coffee with the Summerland Kids. We're just getting rolling here. It's Monday, June 3rd. It's kind of like officially summer. I noticed when we got back to town up to Pagosa Springs, Colorado, that the tourists, it's definitely like the town fills in during summer. It feels like the people that get their kids out of school early, or maybe who knows what, but they're on the road, man. They're on the road.
Oh, absolutely. You hear a lot about Indian summers, and I've just felt this whole spring season has been, it kind of came in early, and here it is June, and it still feels like spring. I think it's kind of one of those extended spring things.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, no, it is an extended spring up here too, because this morning there was a little tiny bit of ice on the bird water, but only in a little spot. Yeah, so it's still brisk in the morning up here. But yeah, it was cool to I just got back from California. That was a good trip, successful. Picked up my dad, this guy's dad. So this is Bill Woggon behind me, and his son is 82 years old. So it's pretty amazing in that whole perspective of the grandfather, granddad, the whole deal.
Yeah, it's one of those things people talk about genetic memories. Okay, to where like the experience of their grandfather or great grandfather is somehow encoded into your DNA.
Wow.
And I just see you, doing the art thing as just something that's part of you. And it just makes me wonder. I wonder how much of that is, genetically implanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Shit happens.
The neighborhood.
Yeah. Woo! Woo! Yeah. So we had
oh no. The life of Orville. Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. It's the neighbors. There's been issues. The dog next door got a hold of a cat, and it's just been kind of been a little bit intense here in the neighborhood.
Yeah. We had we were camping. I think I told you we gotta meet up sometime at the Navajo National Monument park. It's amazing. You want to move
Oh,
yourself?
I gotta go to the backyard. I think that the podcast
Yeah.
is.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm
it's all
doing the
good.
podcast and woo!
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on. I'm back in the house, so
Yeah, that's cool.
hopefully that filters out some of the morning goings on.
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, dude. So we were up at the Navajo National Monument Park, and I reconnected myself with myself to be able to be an RV truck driver with Dad's fifth wheel trailer. So I got it all backed into the camping spot. So it's funny when you got your co-pilot is 82 years old, and is a little bit like he wasn't always on edge. Thankfully, he was chill as a co-pilot. I think he said it was his first time as a co-pilot in like probably decades, because the guys used to just, he's the driver and his wife would be beside him. But now since the wife has passed on, and then now I'm there to bring him back. So I was the driver, and then so we got ourselves into the camp spot, backed into the camping area, all perfect. And then we get my buddy, because we got my best pal, Jason, with us, in tow, so to speak. He's driving his own car. So we sit down at the picnic table and we start talking, because Dad may have met him once before, my buddy. And then the cool thing about Jason is he went to school with my brother at Carpinteria High School. So the yearbook that my brother left behind at the cabin has Jason in the same yearbook. So he's able to show my parents pictures of him in high school with my brother, and they actually had like an English class together or some shit. And so those classic moments. So anyways, we're sitting at the picnic table and we start chatting, and then the neighbor comes over, just like your neighbor there, but quietly just says, "Hey guys, can you guys not talk politics?" If you,
Oh,
we hear everything.
gosh, not politics, Jericho.
Yeah.
This is an election year,
I know, right? So my dad's like, "Hey, I fully understand you. We copy that. We'll mum's the word on the politics. All right, cool." So he walks back over to his camp, the neighbor, and then my dad made friends with him later. But so we had two camping spots side by side. So we took our conversation eventually and moved it down to the lower picnic table, and that was pretty much it for the politics of the topical conversation. Thankfully, everybody is all in the same realm. There's not really any disagreements there, so we're all on even our neighbor was in agreement. So even though you're in agreement, maybe they still don't want to talk about it.
No, that's funny though, because the fact of them coming over to ask you not to talk politics, to me, kind of sounds like campground politics.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, in essence, you guys are coming to what they want and what you guys are doing, and coming to a concordance and agreement. That in nature is a political situation, even though it's not large.
Right.
There is a small little campground.
Yeah, I mean, there was probably, if I had to guess, there had to be, we were in camp spaces 1 and 2. I think there had to be at least 20, let's say 25 in that little loop. And there was probably, I didn't see the other loop, but apparently the other loop has more spectacular views. And it's, but we didn't even check that out. But close by the campgrounds, the visitor center, which was closed, but the views are spectacular once you walk over there. There's that Native American Navajo Woggon, that little structure I see. Yeah, so I managed to capture the rainbows coming out of the freaking Woggon, timing wise. That was amazing.
That picture was amazing.
I know.
How did you get that? It was just you showed up at the right time?
Yeah, showed up right at the right time and just kept. I was like, oh shit, there's a rainbow. I'm like, oh, so I just kept on getting the same shot, but and then I just did my little refining in the editing, but just to bring out the rainbow. Um, but yeah, just a totally magical space. The Navajo National Monument is the name of the place, and it's called like Sunset View Campground or something like that, and just spectacular. I guess on national monuments, this one's free camping. So it's not national parks usually charge money, but like a secret is national monuments don't apparently in this case. So that's pretty rad. You can camp for free. It's totally there's all the picnic benches and a small little fireplace there. So it's a really cool place.
No, I've never been to too many places, but I definitely enjoy you know, maybe not camping anymore, but definitely when you got a fifth wheel trailer, the glamping is what they call it, I guess. You got your own kitchen, you got a refrigerator, you got TV
Yeah,
sometimes,
right.
cable, heater, AC, your own shady spot.
A comfortable bed.
Yeah, a comfortable
Yeah, comfortable
bed.
bed.
Look at we got a guest here today. Come here, Shelly.
Yay.
Come here. We got a guest here.
Yeah.
The only person that comes and comments on every one of our videos.
Yay. I told Jason about it too. We have a fact checker, our online our show fact checker. What year was Summerland founded? Yeah. Thank you for fact checking our show. It's helpful.
No, it is. And like I was saying, she does go on to every single YouTube video, it seems like, and gives us a little bit of support. I'm not sure how much that causes the algorithms or whatever to pick us up, but I know that it's just kind of fun to have a conversation on the thread, I guess the conscious thread or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of neat. Every
The
time I upload,
algorithms.
she calls it the algorithm.
Yeah.
But every time I upload, then the next day I've got all these comments, and it's just kind of fun. I don't
No,
know if you've
absolutely.
had a chance to go through the videos and maybe like or reply some of the comments and hello viewers. It does help the algorithm. If you go check out our YouTube and like and comment and share and all that stuff. Not that we're trying to do anything more than just have a conversation.
Right.
It's still kind of cool.
No, it is. It helps to be active. Like when you comment on something, let's say a viewer comments, and then we comment to that comment, so it starts a dialogue, like you say, a thread, essentially, to that. I haven't tried that new Facebook Threads yet. Is it on Facebook? Yeah. Have you tried? Have you seen that? I haven't tried it.
I think I've seen it, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure how active I've been in it. I know that these social media companies kind of look at each other and try and say, oh, that's good, let's do that. And I know Reddit's one of the older ones that each thread, has a discussion, each topic, whether you're talking about, say, politics or religion or vacation or national monuments. And then there's a whole little dialogue of people engaging and having a discussion.
That's cool.
So I know that's pretty cool.
Yeah, one of my buddies really loved Reddit for a long time, but then something happened. I can't remember what their little speed bump on Reddit was. I can't remember what happened, but they kind of changed it up or something.
Yeah, I know that they're constantly changing. For a while there, I was really into watching Congress. I don't know if you know how boring and dull it is or how exciting and interesting it is, but I was watching. What pulled me in was the testimony of the social media companies. They had TikTok, they had X, formerly known as Twitter, they had Zuckerberg out there with Facebook, and I think Reddit was one of them. And I think there was 4 or 5 different social media heads that were in Congress to testify relating to, I don't even know. It was just, to me, it was just really entertaining to see, politics in action, if you will.
I know, for sure, bro. Yeah, and it was interesting. Not involving politics, but just going back to the city. And I guess, yeah, to tie it into politics, there was a politician of some sort. He worked for, I think his name was Jose Huzar, or Weezar, in Los Angeles. He's no longer with them because I think he might be in jail. But he instigated. I thought it was cool stuff, and all the community was really behind him. A lot of new development in LA. So a few buildings went up. And I think those buildings we talked about before with all the graffiti on them now, where the artists are going up, that may have been approved by him. So I think it was a Chinese company that built those, but they lost their funding, was sort of cut off at some point, or they had a snafu in their payments to their contractors. So all the construction stopped. So what's left behind is those 2 towers that are full of graffiti now. So, but over in the Arts District, there was one that was, it's sort of out of place because there's this one building called the Nate Starkman building. And I'll be damned, it's probably only 3 stories tall. So it's somewhat, short and stout. But next to it now, there's probably like a 20-story tower of glass. So it's like, hey, you could have kept the neighborhood antique brick and mortar, under 5 stories, let's say, just generalizing. But no, they just allowed someone to pop up a big fat tower. And there was another one in the mix, but nonetheless, it's just interesting to see how neighborhoods can really pop up from essentially the political and developer, the relationship, I guess, between the city of Los Angeles and the developers, what can happen from that. So that's a whole big deal when it comes to city planning and the future of what the city will look like in the future, So.
Yeah, I mean, the future, I guess, is now. I mean, I was watching a little video last night about, movies, the entertainment industry, SAG, of course, the Screen Actors Guild, and artificial intelligence or virtual characters and what they're doing as far as likenesses and images, right? Yeah. So how the computer technology is able to create a story out of a prompt and now even able to use images like Luke Skywalker in Star Wars and regress the age or advance the age and even create voiceover scripts. And it's really interesting to me because I'm a technology guy and I enjoy music and my poetry and stuff, going into my Suno Songmaker to make songs and generate art. A certain part of me is like, hey, I'm cheating. But then a certain part of me is like, hey, they've been doing digital synthesized music in various aspects.
Share.
Yeah.
And, just how it's opening up an avenue for me, I guess, to express my words, which, okay, maybe some of them are generated with the help of a computer. But, there's, to stay on that cutting edge of technology while remaining pure to myself as far as my artistic expression and poetry is kind of Peanut Gallery. I'm going outside. She wants to talk and distract me. See here, Peanut Gallery. Bye.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, man. I love that song. We got to share the Summerland KIDS song, your lyrics. Your lyrics are amazing, bro, on the Summerland KIDS song.
Oh, thank you, man. It's like,
we got to add your all the, copyright Aaron Riggs. This is you, man, because that song is a sweet song that you wrote.
No, it's like I said, the licensing and stuff is kind of unusual as far as um, giving credits or paying for access to have a
Yeah.
quote unquote pro account.
Okay.
Um, I'm still working on it. You know, I'm
Yeah.
focused on just life and poetry.
No, that's cool. That's great. That's right. That's the main focus. Yeah, that's cool.
But
That's
it
important
sure would be
stuff.
nice to get some royalty checks. I mean, it sure would
Right.
be nice.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I still have that hope, Jericho, that maybe we come up with that $30 million
I know.
and
Yeah, no,
be able to move back to Summerland.
exactly. It's just like the how-to on certain things, like when you come up with an original song, perhaps there's definitely something for the songwriter. Like it'd be interesting to see what, looking back in history of songwriting, like I know that in that movie, The Harder They Come with Jimmy Cliff, the record producer, record company was really taking the bulk of the profits from the artist back then because they were trying to pay the artist songwriter like a one-time fee to essentially lay down a track or lay down a record or something.
Yeah, the
And
industry is very. I
yeah,
really don't know what to say. I haven't been involved.
right.
There's a
So
lot of how shall we say power and control, and of course, you know, to get something promoted, it does take a bit of money to get it
oh
out
yeah,
there.
no, for sure. It's interesting these days because um, maybe I guess I think they said on this morning on the radio that Napster, it was 1999 of June. Perhaps that's when it got shut down. We'd have to fact check that, but that came up, and that was sort of like an unbound, unchained. Um, for all of us users out there, we were able to, you know, type in our song, find our song, share our song or our music with other people. And we're able to do that nowadays, I think, with Spotify playlists and stuff like that, but just a little bit different. And I have one of my friends from Los Angeles. I briefly got to know her, Michelle Shocked. So Michelle Shocked, I believe, was a Grammy award-winning musician who definitely felt early on that she didn't really like YouTube and didn't really like people taking her picture at shows and filming her because then she couldn't benefit from that in any way. It'd be one thing if she had her own cameraman and her own film, and then to share that video herself on her own platform. But she had a little bit of discrepancy, if that's the word, with people selling her music without her getting her share of it. So that was
Yeah,
challenging for her.
yeah. You know, it's very interesting because Metallica was one of my favorite bands, still is, and they were one of the biggest, opponents of Napster. I think they started the lawsuit. But I remember, internet was a lot slower then.
Yeah, right.
We would go. My friend had it, going constantly. The Napster downloads,
Oh wow.
and we'd spend the morning kind of figuring out what songs we wanted, get them all downloading, go to work or go to the day, and then come home at night, and some of them would be downloaded. And
Okay. That's wow. I wonder if those are still held. If someone held their computer from back then, could you literally plug it in and would your library still be there today?
yeah, I'm one of those people. I hold on to my computers. I get new computers before they're totally useless.
Wow.
And I have massive amounts of writing and files and music downloads or whatever on some of my
Wow.
old hard drives. And yeah, as long as the computer boots up, all your files should be there.
Yeah, right. All your downloaded files should be there. That's cool. I wonder, so it's in theory, like you can almost set up like your retro office, if you will, with your old computer systems and be able to fire it up with a couple little computer speakers and listen to songs you download on Napster in freaking in 1999.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, besides being able to play it on YouTube or YouTube Music or Spotify, or there's so many platforms that, iTunes, I guess that's one thing I could do. I've been looking into it. There are other software programs that could distribute, right? Distribute and kind of manage that business side of music, being who I am. Even though I'm a business major, something happened spiritually or mentally or emotionally or something to where I turned away. Okay, I've got years of training and education, but I can't function in a business per se because of my passion, I guess. Somehow when you're focusing on the money and the business aspects of whatever it is, the passion for me, gets kind of detracted from, I gotta make my song this way to be popular, and it somehow changes the dynamics. It's interesting.
Sure. Yeah, I was the same way when I didn't ever really take any art direction. I just did my own work, and I thankfully I never had to hear someone say like, make the dragon bigger, or I mean, essentially I guess I did get the prompt to can you make it bigger, and I did expand on my own concept. But so they didn't tell me what to paint. I painted what I wanted to paint, and I just delivered the larger scale of what they were asking for. So, but I also had to propose. My first proposal was turned down because it was too high in cost. So I had to rethink how to create it less expensively, and I did that, and so I was able to deliver on their essentially their requested budget line or whatever. That was like, now this next year will be 20 years since my biggest big work or whatever. But I'm looking forward to getting back to the smaller stuff. Do you want to mention our sponsors today?
Oh yeah, brought to you by creative artists.
Yeah, exactly.
Progressive politics and anti-Napsters.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Brought to you by Kitty Cat, of course.
Yeah, brought to you by Cat Furs Anonymous.
One thing I do want to promote and kind of let people know is
sure.
The thing that your grandfather created, the Katie Keene, right?
Yep.
You sent a couple of videos of things, and one person actually took those paper fashions and made a fashion, made an actual physical fashion, something to wear out of those pictures. And I think that's so amazing how your grandfather kind of interacted with his audience. He had this concept of Katie Keene, and she's the cool chick of Archie, or, and her styles were actually suggestions and ideas from the audience, kind of like, how about a superhero costume, or how about a country western theme? And then he'd make those little cutouts. And I remember those little cutouts. I think my sister had, I don't know if they were Katie Keene, but I remember the paper magazines, and the kids would cut it out, and they had, put not quite a Barbie, but it's still, fun for a kid to change and, dress up like a costume, or dress their little paper doll up with a costume. And I just thought that was just such an amazing part of what Bill Woggon, your grandpa, did. Not just, hey, I'm an artist, look at my cool stuff, but hey, I see that you're interested. What do you want? What do you want Katie Keene to wear? Let me help realize this vision that you have. And I thought that was the most amazing part of what Grandpa Bill did.
Yeah.
As far as not just being an artist, but taking the input of the fans and doing something.
Fan driven. Once he was up and running, it'd be interesting to look and see. It was a few issues, But then then there was a call out where it said submit your designs here for Katie Keene, and then the mail just started to come in, and then when he moved to California, he got Katie Keene a Hollywood address. So you're actually sending your postcards to Hollywood for Katie Keene, and then eventually he got a Santa Barbara address to have the kids send directly to Santa Barbara. The fan
No,
mail,
that's super cool. That
the
is
fan mail concepts, yeah.
super cool. You know, we're at 30 minutes and 20 seconds
Yeah,
here.
we're on our mark. Thank you
Um,
guys for joining us today. We're Coffee with the Summerland Kids. I'm Jerico Woggon. This is Aaron Riggs. That's Grandpa Bill Woggon behind us. And we were just talking about Katie Keene and art and all sorts of fun conversation today. So we want to thank you guys for joining us.
yeah, but don't forget to smash that like button. Hit that
Yeah, smash the like button and subscribe.
comment.
Hey, well,
I'm going to
Aaron.
prompt Jericho to go to the YouTube and comment on the comments. So
Exactly. That's what I'm
we'll
going to
get
do
some of
tonight.
that interaction. Maybe we can start putting a topic up depending on what our viewers, if we get enough viewers.
Exactly. That's what's up. All right, Aaron. Have a great day, man. Thank you.